meetings we have and all this stuff that, all this stuff will be ready at showtime.
I like how we were all ready to go 2 minutes before showtime. All right. We're getting places. Let me see if I can add David here. David, I sent you your invite to speak, so let's see if it works this time. And I see Aziz's request. Oh, she's already added. It looks like we got David. Yeah, we in there.
David.
Wow. Y'all were talking so much shit about me, and it was Elon Musk this whole time.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Your arch nemesis.
Clearly. Arch nemesis.
Ugh.
Oh, that's so bad.
Oh.
So bad. I was just sitting there listening to y'all talk shit and wanted to respond and couldn't. And could not respond whatsoever. It was so bad. Hate y'all. Oh,
Why? Why hate us? We're good to you.
I'm sorry, what? You're not good to me whatsoever. Oh.
We're like medicine. We're bitter.
What is it?
We're like medicine. Delicious medicine.
You're like
That's
medicine,
bitter.
but you're just bitter. Oh, I get it. Yeah, no. Absolutely not. But being that we're late, Josh, you want to
just go ahead and
let's
run right into it?
check with John first to make sure we're good to go, and then let's just get into it.
Yeah, so I guess we won't spend too much time on intros. Hey, everybody, welcome to TO Talks. This is season 4, episode 3. And we've got ourselves a pretty full show tonight. My name is Josh, also known as Isage. We've got tonight Calm Warrior, aka David, Aziza, and John, aka Blacksamillion. We are your usual hosts, and we're going to kind of dive right on into this. We'll go ahead and start off things the way we've been starting them off this season. We're going to kind of start shouting out upcoming tournaments. So we've got a few events that are coming up here relatively soon. In fact, March specifically is looking like the month of anime. That's a whole lot of anime events going down. So we're going to start the month. So March 3rd through the 5th, we have Super TSB. That's going to be in New York. New York's got almost an event every week for the month of March. That same weekend, the 4th through the 5th, is going to be the Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour Finals, as well as Red Bull Golden Letters. So if you're a Tekken fan, Golden Letters going on. Dragon Ball fans, you got your World Tour Finals. The following weekend, on the 11th through the 12th, is going to be the Revo World Tour Finals. We spoke last episode about the final qualifiers for Strive and DNF Duel there. So might be maybe possibly a trailer for Female Slayer for DNF Duel. We'll see. Winter Brawl 3D is taking place on the weekend of the 18th. Also taking place that weekend will be Slashback. I believe that's in New York as well. It's another anime event. March 24th to the 27th will be the crossover arc. 31st through the 2nd will be Bum's birthday bash, which coincides with Evo Japan. It's like, can't help but feel that Bum will have a watch party going for that. And we've also got the shout outs to the Iron Fist Philly folks up there in Philadelphia. Afronomical and Fat Boy, they've got the Phurnace going on tonight. So after the show's done, go check them out. Make sure you show some support. A lot of good folks over there. I mean, that's a lot going on. I mean, that's not even including PAX East that's taking place in March. I mean, what is there anything that sticks out? I know that the Nest. You got your third event coming up, your third qualifier.
No, it's the finals.
So this is the finals.
This is a grand nest.
I thought when David asked that, we said no.
The grand nest.
The grand nest.
The grand nest is happening. So all 4 qualifiers happen. So we have our 8 finalists, and we're getting more. We have a few announcements when it comes to partnerships and added to the people adding to the pot. So it's guaranteed to be over 500, and just
over 500.
No, it's over 500. So like we're buckling down, getting everything straightened out. the final interviews are happening after the Grand Nest. So like, yeah, that's basically what is it. Shout out to Padia. They've done they're a phenomenal service actually. Like they're new, but like, and you know, it's like there's a lot of ease of use of the service. So yeah, shout out to them, and I recommend that service for anyone who is starting out doing online tournaments and stuff like that. I hope this service grows enough so that it can actually do larger events. Like, you know, if we start to do a regional or anything like that, they can follow us with that. And yeah, um,
Is that a
that's pretty much it.
dynamic seal of approval?
It's a dynamic seal of approval. It's the Bird Squad seal of approval.
Oh God, that was so bad. That was so dad
What?
jokey. No, John, not you. That's payback for earlier when I couldn't talk.
I mean, you sound like
Whatever.
a hater.
Yeah.
Yeah, the CEO of the company liked it, so I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, Aziza, do you know what some of the character representations looking like for the
Oh
final?
yeah. Oh yeah. There's So let me get the sheet because y'all don't remember anything about me.
What?
I'm gonna cry.
What?
I'm gonna cry.
Wow.
I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna cry in front of you. That's what I'm doing. So let me go on dynamic focus and go and look at those tweets now. I tweet a lot. Okay, here. So we have Crown Thunder, who is a Testament main. Mac Men's is a Anji main. Herbs is a Jackal main. MFCR, you already know him to be damn it, I hate him. Leo main. Tao is an Anji main. Omega JSM is a Potemkin main, and kind of crazy. It's really fun to watch him. Creaky Axe is a Axel main, and Lapras is a Ram and a Faust main. So yeah, you got that going. So
That's really dope.
Let
I'm
me-
glad that you're doing that. What do you have planned after the final nest?
So after the final nest, there is during the grand nest. There's going to be an announcement for the future, and of course, the grand nest. After the grand nest, we have interviews after that. So like we've been interviewing everybody in the scene for every single thing that we've been doing. I'm in the hospital, so there's going to be noise in the background.
You're on. Yep.
We are going to be doing more nests in the future. That's definitely one of the things. Like we're going to have micro leagues going throughout the whole year.
So you're cooking. You're cooking.
So we're cooking. Yeah,
that's what's up.
Yeah, like I mean, Street Fighter 6 is going to be a league for the nest too. So we're actually going to move into that. We're looking into Grand Blue too, but the next nest, the time, dates, and everything like that, we're filming that too.
Can I ask you a question real quick? Can I ask you a question real quick? Do you have the top GBVS player on your team in the North America right now? Is he the top?
He's one of the top, but at the same time, he can't play in the our players don't play in the net. They support it.
Okay.
So even though he can't play in the nest, is he excited for the Cygames Cup tonight? That's taking place at 2:30 a.m. Eastern.
Yes, he's definitely gonna be very excited about that. Tega really loves DBA Grand Blue. Very big supporter of the game.
Does he have any expectations for tonight for the cup in terms of any announcements or things like that, or anything that he shared with you?
Okay, you have to understand my relationship with Tega. It's literally if you remember My Way Entertainment and the Akira thing where the guy just busts down the door and says barbecue pig feet. Yeah, that's how the fuck I walk into a room. That's me and Tega.
So you
Yeah.
guys do the whole My Way Power Rangers parody?
No,
Die from the
it's
crabs.
a living. Like it's literally just like spouting nonsense, and then somebody leaves the Discord, and then he comes back to spout nonsense again, and then we spout nonsense with each other. So like you asking me everything about Taker right now is not going to be very clear.
But that means
I
you can make up stuff for him, and then he has to correct the record later.
no. I don't like that type. The man loves violence. I'm not for it. Controversy and anger is literally on his list of things to do. No.
Listen, are you kidding me? Right now, I'm trying to form a West Indian League because Mena won Capcom Cup in it twice, and right now, being that he feels that Street Fighter is like the only major game out there, we have to compete with him and dethrone DR for at least 1 year. So the whole islands are gonna have to go off it. Well, then again, DR is North America, technically, so maybe not.
Yeah.
You know, forget
Yeah.
Hispaniola and the fact that it's sitting in the Caribbean Sea, but you know, whatever. Clearly, I don't have any geological or geography sense. I failed that
Yeah,
class.
whatever.
Geographical?
Yeah, geographical. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for.
There you go, buddy.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, you have the command of the English language.
That was
Oh,
thank you. I
my
appreciate you.
God.
She felt it.
I know.
She felt it. She knew.
I felt it.
She
I
knew.
knew it. It had to be
Oh my
said.
God.
It literally had to be
We're both
said.
we're both sitting there just waiting. Who's gonna
All
say
right.
it first?
Okay, for context for everyone that's listening, you guys don't know, but there was a recorded conversation with my mom where we had to exchange some words, and my mom was very kind, and she said to me that I am the one that taught you how to speak English, and I'm well aware that you have a very good command of the English language, so you know how to speak better. The entire cast of TO Talks has been dragging me for at least a month and a half, if not longer, about that conversation. So whenever you hear this, know that they're making fun of me. Basically, you know what I mean? And that's just messed up, and it makes me cry on the inside.
Oh, it's gonna go up on the page soon.
Oh, shut up. Oh, it's so
I was
yeah, you're waiting for the
So
go ahead. Josh, go ahead and start us off, baby.
we've got a lot going on as we heard. You know, all those other events, the Cygames Cup, Nest, everything's going on. You know, but so we've talked a little bit about that. Let's dive right into the Evo 2023 announcements. We had the lineup announced, was it last Friday? Where they showed the games. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 has made it. Shout outs to Tong and
Kevin Ha.
Kevin
too.
Kevin H.
Kinder Party. Wasn't Kinder Party one of the dudes that was doing tournaments for a long time? If that's his name, please someone correct me if I'm wrong. But here's the thing, right? And let me jump on this and say this real quick. That's a part of the culture that I think you guys are missing and that you cannot miss, right? And I'm not hating on Evo when I say this. I'm just talking about the culture in general. Evo does not dictate the games that we play or the games that are hype. Listen to me. I play Captain America, Hawkeye, Iron Fist, Team Human, right? When you play me and I'm willing to play you for dollar money matches, any team you got, I'm going to play you, right? Because I'm the best. But I need you to understand that that's one of my favorite games. Like, I like watching that game. I like watching Tekken. I like watching like certain people play Street Fighter 5, but like those games when I'm watching it, I'm hyped watching them. I've been enjoying watching Marvel 3 for years. And Tong, Kevin Ha, Kinder Party, I slip his name out. The dude that plays the alien out of Arizona. What's his name? What's his name? Well, you know what I'm talking about. That dude. Like they've kept their scene alive for years, and now it's back on the main stage, and it's getting a $25,000 pot bonus, right? So, like, to me, I think that's one of the things that speaks to who we are as a culture. and that we can't ever let go. Like, don't stop playing 5. Don't stop playing MVCI. I don't personally like MVCI, but play it. If you got a group, and support it. Support your locals. Grow a scene. Create a league. Do whatever you do, because keep in mind, we're watching. Because
I'm just gonna say one thing.
yeah,
I'm gonna interrupt you.
oh,
Um, I am a personal person that kind of just wants to see 5 go to the wayside, because not I have been holding a lot of distraught men for Street Fighter 5,
distraught man.
and I kind of
Bumble cloud.
you
What kind
just
of word that?
like because it literally has post like trauma that
Mm.
we literally wanted to like. I
Yo,
think like you could be a war hero after playing Street Fighter
I
5.
need you to. I
Mm.
need you to put your.
Rest in peace.
I need you to put your islandness away real quick. Distraughtment.
Nah,
Yo,
Distraughtment.
distraught,
press F for
distraught.
Yo,
press F for press F to pay your
you
respects.
know what I mean? God damn.
Wow,
Josh, I'm
for
sorry.
Street Fighter 5.
Right. I'm sorry I interrupted you, sir. But yeah. But I just wanted to say that one point, right? Like, bruh, support your games. Like, my homie is in here from PRK from Mexico, bro, and they're always playing KOF. They play KOF 2002 KOF 99, or as they call it, KOF. You know what I mean? They play KOF down there crazy. And yeah, it's a Latin thing or whatever, and China, whatever, right? But like, bruh, whatever it is that you and your community, particular community, likes within the culture, play that shit, because I promise you, your skills will translate to another game if you're not trying to be a genius on Earth. I promise you. I've played more video games than some of you have ever played all your life. I've been playing fighting video games since like Time Killers and the Ninja Turtle game. You know, remember the Ninja Turtle game? I think it was SNES, where they had dragon punches and shit with
Man,
Leonardo.
you know, you on that blockbuster playing the Clay Fighter
Bro,
33 in the
I
third
was,
tournament.
I was.
No, you weren't. No, you weren't.
Bro, no, I wasn't. Not for that one, but I did play Clay
You
Fighter.
you went out there with Bad Mr. Frosty and Blue Suede Goo.
Bro, but I played Clay Fighter in the crib, bro. I was Johnny Donuts to my neighborhood, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, play your shit. Play your game and be happy to play your game. And if you got somebody that plays it with you and it's enjoyable, play it. I promise you, when you go to Evo and big events like that, there'll only be 15 people that sign up in the tournament, and that will be like fighting in the gulag. You're gonna have the hardest time getting out of that bracket, and probably the most fun you've ever had in a long time. Just keep playing your shit, and eventually someone will pick it up, and it'll be big, man. We're going into this new era of gaming where there's more visibility, there's more content creators, and you never know what it's going to take, what like, share, retweet, whatever, it's going to happen, and it's going to get in front of the right person, and you never know what's going to happen. So just keep pushing, man. I'm trying to be positive about this shit, because it is what we do, and we've been doing it for a long time. Josh, go ahead, B.
Appreciate you. So we'll talk about let's talk about some of the games that were announced for Evo. We first off, Evo was presented by Chipotle, and I hope beyond hope that there is not an on-site Chipotle at Evo. Those bathrooms will be even bigger war crimes than they already are. Oh my god! Like,
I'm just
do not.
glad that I'm a woman in the FGC, because those bathrooms are kind of empty, and I always get a chance to go to the bathroom at
Mm.
Evo. So,
Well,
so
excuse
what
me.
to you?
Ugh. So we've got first game was announced. I think we all kind of had a feeling that we knew what this first game was going to be. The game's dropping June 2nd. I have to update my video card in order to play it, but it is Street Fighter 6. So we've got a lot to talk about in regards to Capcom announcements and some other stuff. We'll hop into that a little bit later, but as one could expect, that was probably good. That's probably going to be the marquee event. The another event is going to be Guilty Gear Strive. Guilty Gear has carried the FGC post-pandemic. I don't think there's anybody in their right mind would argue otherwise. So they've been one of the, I think they consistently have one of, if not the highest registrants now for a lot of the events going on. So that's going to be happening. Um, Dragon Ball Fighters, the inclusion of Dragon Ball Fighters, I thought was very interesting. Um, to my understanding, and someone please correct me here if I'm wrong, uh, I thought that they had mentioned that I guess they were working on one final patch or one final balance adjustment for it, and then they were no longer supporting it. Is that correct? Am I remembering that wrong?
No, I feel like you're correct on that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Don't look to me for any advice on that one. We'd have
Yeah,
to.
I mean, allegedly, don't quote us on that, but I feel
Yeah.
like you're right.
Yeah, I think someone hop into the Twitter thread and let me know. By the way, David, one of the listeners, your homie PRK, was it Angelic? Was the Marvel player?
Yep, that's it. Angelic. Angelic was a
No.
Marvel player. That's
Hey.
right. That's him.
Milton got it right on. Milton knew. He knew. But so the Dragon Ball Fighters inclusion. So like I said, that obviously shows why I think it's a little weird, considering that they're going to be stopping support for this game, etc., etc. But we have the Dragon Ball Fighters World Tour finals coming up next weekend. So maybe there's going to be some life given. I do know that they're waiting on rollback. I know that's the big thing. So I'm wondering if they're hoping that rollback will give it another bit of a resurgence here. Or they could also be trying to play off of, as mentioned, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was announced. Tekken 7 was announced. Makes a lot of sense. People are expecting Evo to be one of the closed alpha test sites for Tekken 8. So that's to be expected. KOF 15 also announced. Again, to be expected as far as I'm concerned. KOF has this weird tendency to drop a game, and this seems to be the reoccurring thing since 13. It drops a game, and there's probably some craziness in the game. That's part of the course these days. They don't spend a year or 2 years beta testing in the arcade like Bamco used to do with every newer version of Tekken. Sad face. KOF will always kind of blow up early, but then with the amount of execution that's involved in that game, the amount of knowledge and timing, it seems to kind of fall off in terms of the player base while still maintaining very high viewership numbers because the game is so fun to watch. So I'm wondering if KOF 15 is going to suffer the same curse. But I will tell you this, you wouldn't believe how many Melee players I've been able to get to start playing fighting games because of KOF 15. That for whatever reason, I think it's because of the execution
And movement
requirements.
and the movement. Look how
Yep.
fast the movement is. It's very similar to that of like Melee. Because when I watch my son play right now, like one of his biggest gripes with Street Fighter and stuff like that is the slow movement. You're the non-air dashes and the human like esque fighting aspect of the game, right? They don't like that. They like the more fantasy fiction type stuff, and it's more fun to attack someone and then hit them again while they're in the air and knock them off the screen. And it's like, wow.
They want the anime.
What'd you say?
I said they want the anime.
Yeah, they want the anime, so it's working well for them, and I like that. So it's pretty dope that they get to do that. So transition to something else, and that's what a lot of people talk about with Ed, right? Look at Eden Walker, right? Eden Walker first, like his third offline major was Capcom Cup. That was his third offline major,
Right?
bro. Like that to me is like crazy. The level of skill that these kids have, and so oh god, I won't go into it, but I guess that's why everybody should play whatever type of controller type fits them best, even leverless controllers. And I'll say that and go on mute.
By the way, David, while you're on mute, I just want you to know that I'm probably getting a leverless controller here in the near future as well. So,
I'm also I have a lever link right
granted,
now.
Oh my
due to the fact
god.
that you can never get a
I'm ready. I'm
joystick
ready to
connection.
cheat. I'm ready to cheat, baby.
Oh.
Cheat. I'm ready for my Eddie Guerrero arc. It's time to cheat to win. We got $1 million on the line, sir. You're gonna see nothing but
Yeah.
you're gonna see
Save your
nothing
hands.
but
Leverless.
Oh,
Save your hands. To go
Yep.
leverless. Go back to keyboard.
I
Go
hope,
back to monkey. Like
I hope all your switches
So
break. Go ahead.
so the last two
you
games they've got. What?
don't be grumpy. Don't be grumpy.
I'm not grumpy.
Join us.
No, I never,
You've
never.
been grumpy. Yeah.
I got this
Really?
Korean stick in my back room.
Really? I'm gonna sit down there and I'm like, we're gonna recall that one where you said that it was a tennis racket with a laser with a cannon on it.
Oh wow.
Wow.
That the machine gun
See, I
tennis
told you,
racket. That
dog. I told you the
talk
internet
about
is forever.
the
Oh,
The
internet
internet is
forever.
oh my God. And
You
we're not letting
and you
Josh
literally
go.
had a.
We're not letting
No,
Josh
I'm
go.
never. No, I'm not let you go either.
All right.
Cause you won't let things die. And now you.
yo, hey,
Yo, let Josh
mm,
finish, man. Let Josh finish, man.
So we've also got MK11, which now that the
well,
I'm
oh
sorry,
wait, what?
MK11 Ultimate is what's going to be at Evo. 12 is what leaked, trickled.
Did I say that by accident?
Oh, you know what? John, I'm sorry. I did not pay attention when I should have. Yep. I think it might be a similar situation to Tekken. Is that what you're saying, or do you think they're going to replace 11 Ultimate with 12?
I mean, I don't know. Just the
Well,
fact that it got leaked is kind of interesting,
yeah. I mean, I
especially when
think
they decided to put it back in there this year. But,
yeah. I mean, that's one of those like one of the common criticisms that Evo gets every time they release a lineup, and regardless of whether or not there is any truth to this or how much of it is true or is the influence, the common criticism has been, you got to pay to be at Evo now. That's what some of the Smash players right now are like. Oh, well, this, Evo and the FGC hate Smash. That wasn't as loud as we've heard in the past. A lot of other people are just like, no, Nintendo just hates us. That's all there is there. That's why we won't. That's why we're not going to be at Evo, because just Nintendo hates us. But MK11 being there with the MK12 leak, being talked about, it makes a lot of sense. And then the final game, Melty Blood, you know, poverty/anime getting on stage. I like it. I personally, I would have loved to have seen DNF Duel. I like the game. I know a lot of other people might not, but at the same time, if you're going to look at the numbers online, the DNF Duel doesn't deserve to be there quite yet. Maybe if it can retain its player base a little bit, but Melty being there is pretty interesting. Um, you know, sorry, Soul Calibur fans and anyone else whose games didn't make that, but if it makes you feel any better, at least if you're a Soul Calibur player, you don't have to worry about getting 7th place and not getting paid nor a medal, because that seems to be a big change this year as well. They announced that top 6 will be receiving payouts and medals. And so I'm going to take a quick second here to kind of ask y'all, not even kind of, I'm just going to ask y'all's opinion on this, because this had me thinking. Is with the increasing costs of tournaments and final Sundays, which we were calling them top 8 Sundays. Now it's finals Sundays, I guess, for this point. That's always been a thing. Now you're having to pay extra money to get into that, and it makes sense for Evo. This is where all the announcements are going to take place. So then this is
well, not just that,
international.
it's a separate venue too. So
Yeah, and this is essentially global finals for the most popular fighting games or whatever fighting games happen to make the roster. But is top 6 is this losing value for the players and the attendance on Sundays? And just because you're not going to get as many matches now. I mean, and there was a conversation that I saw taking place in Discord earlier. Shout outs to Naz. Naz I see him in there. It was actually someone that had mentioned that what's the value of Sunday if you are a one-game wonder, if you are only there for Melty Blood, what's like aside from just being a fan of Melty Blood and wanting to see that top six, where's the value for you? Now, if you're a Street Fighter fan, Guilty Gear fan, Tekken fan, you're a fan of fighting games, that might make more sense. But if you're just a fan of one game, now it's just top six. Is that a decline in value, or is the value still there? And I'll stop talking and listen.
All right, so let me address something real quick because you know how sensitive people can be. You got to understand, right? We're from an era where fighting games and anime were not one and the same. I'm going to say this again. Fighting games and anime games were not one and the same. That's why you'll hear oftentimes the anime tournament got put in the bathroom or some shit like that they would often bring up, right? Now anime games are as mainstream as anything else. And you can't imagine a tournament being, not ran without a large anime group in it, especially if it's a major, right? So to answer that question, let's do the math real quick, right? So we're looking at top six instead of top eight. So if you look at the bracket, you've removed one rung, right, at the bottom, right? It's not a clean mathematical break, but it still makes sense, right?
You've cleared out essentially 30 minutes.
Right, you cleared out 30 minutes per game. That means that maybe on Sunday you could squeeze an extra game in there that was being closed down on Saturday.
Or a lot more announcements.
Or
right.
an announcement,
No.
or an exhibition.
Announcement,
or,
exhibition.
Ooh, an exhibition.
Yeah. And by announcements, we mean commercial. Let's be real. Let's talk that shit, right? Let's talk the business side of it. The more commercials they run on prime time, Evo Sunday night, is more money that they get to make. And with more money that they get to make, the more sustainability that the tournament has. And let's talk about something for real. Let's say they run a couple more Chipotle ads because that was a part of the brand deal that they made with Chipotle. Do you understand that every game, how many games was it total? Was it 8?
There's 8 main games, but Tempest, shout out to Tempest, by the way. They're in the chat. They also reminded us that if your game's not part of the main lineup, guess what? Vortex Gallery is going to be running tons of unofficial tournaments. So
exactly.
this is why Evo's so big, is that this is the fighting game
mecca
meeting.
It's a mecca,
I need to say one thing. Yeah, I just need to say one thing. Grand Blue, it's rising, right? Grand Blue Rising is actually going to have a showcase tournament there. So like how Multiverses had their little section, Grand Blue is actually Rising is going to actually have that going on for them too. So it's Voltex Gallery where they have all the offset games and all the old games that you know and love. They have their section there so you can play those games too. And Grand Blue have Rising having their section, and also the Evo 8 that's going on. So that's the full
good.
That's a full roster there.
Thank you for that, because I needed that number, the 8. So the 8 means that there is what is that? 16, 25 for 25 4. So that's literally they added $200,000 worth of bonus money that was never at Evo before.
So David, I'm glad you're mentioning the money. To my knowledge, that is the prize pot. That is not bonus money. Is that incorrect?
I think that's incorrect.
I have concerns about it.
I think that's incorrect.
Okay, are you sure?
I think that's incorrect. I don't think that's a prize
I hope
pot.
so, man.
I think because you're still paying $10 to go in. They can't keep that money.
That was
illegal.
my concern.
They can't keep that money.
No, it's not.
Yes,
that's how David. This is why I have concerns, because whenever I see an esports entity in my region, been around for a while, people come to me immediately like, "Hey, do you know about these folks?" Blah blah blah. the very first thing I do is, how do they set up their tournaments? There was a place here. I'm not going to mention the name of the business. Don't want to have any problems, but they advertised a Guilty Gear Strive bracket. It was a $10 bracket with a $100 pot. So, David, you're an accountant.
$100.
You know, if you have what makes a $100 pot for a $10 entry? At what point? How many players is that no longer making you money?
No longer making you money.
Night? Well, it's like, you know, you're getting extra.
You're getting
basically.
extra
9, right?
No, well, yeah,
Making profit.
Yeah, you're making profit at the 11th player. At anything above 11 and above, you're making profit.
I'm talking about from the perspective of the player. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we come from that era of the player gets the pot. You know, there's a venue fee, an entry fee. You know, the entry fee for the game. In some cases, there's a cut of that might go to the house if there's no entry fee, and that's usually talked about up front. My concern here is that if this is a $25,000 pot, now the verbiage was that it was a $25,000 at the least or a minimum type thing. So the way it was written, and you know, Evo's very methodical about the way they do things. I think that leaves them opportunities to have more money depending on the entrance. But it was $10 per game last year. So right at 2,500, which we know Street Fighter 6 is going to surpass. That $25,000 prize pot, that's not worth it. They're just making raw profit after that. And that, going back to what I was saying about locals, if that bracket I talked about, they had 16 players for that Guilty Gear Strive bracket. And when I asked, like, so what happens at 16 people? Do they get the extra money? And they're like, no, we collect all that extra. And I'm like, oh, well, this is a scam. There's no reason to do this. And they didn't get it. So I hope that's not the case here with Evo. I don't think it is, again, because of that verbiage of the $25,000 minimum. I can't remember the exact, but I remember that stood out to me like a sore thumb, that I was like, oh, thank God. At least that is there, showing that there is the potential for escalation.
In the thread, Brandon Braithwaite said, let's see, 2 days ago, it is a guaranteed minimum regardless of total entrance per game. It may rise above that based on entrance or other factors.
Very cool.
Oh, shit, you were right. So it's a guaranteed minimum.
Yep. Yeah, it's a guaranteed minimum.
Well,
so it's actually a pop bonus. So that's what it is.
Yes, it's a.
So it's that's awesome then.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and somebody also said, will Capcom add something if Evo is in the CPT circuit or if it is a CPT premiere and Ace King offsuit? So that would be a Capcom decision.
And we don't know yet. We don't know yet, right? They haven't made an announcement yet.
Yeah, that's speculation.
Yeah.
It's speculation. The thing is that, like, you can't say all the stuff. You can't go and say I have this total pending. You need to actually have whatever money that you have, or you have to have.
Listen.
You have to explain that. That's literally it.
So for those of you that haven't been coming to my FGC economy talks, which will be there tomorrow at noon Pacific, budgeting allows you to do this. But guess what they have to do in order to budget? They have to project. And with Street Fighter 6 coming out and a bunch of people showing up for Street Fighter 6, that's what they're able to do, right? And everybody else coming for the games and the numbers and all this other stuff and the costs that are involved, the people, the travel, all the moving parts. If you're not budgeting, you can't make a promise like that. If the culture doesn't support the event, they can't make a promise like that, because they're earmarking a $200,000 expense without any true guarantee that the money's going to be there. So that means, what that's telling me, and that's telling you too, Evo already got 200 racks sitting down for somebody to collect. Because in order not to fuck up their brand name, they can't do that. And what they've also done is not only promised that, they've promised more. We may even give more to the pot. Right? Think about that. And that's what I'm trying to have you guys understand. this type of stuff with the changing of what they're doing, there's real hard money and cash coming out of this now, right? And I see people complaining about this shit. Yeah, it's different. So what? Run your top 8 still. They figured out a way to make. Remember, ever since Rick and all of them were involved with that, they've been making people. How many people were coming out of losers? I think it was like 1 winner and 2 out of losers. That's how they're gonna get top 6.
Yep.
That's how they get top 6. It's 1 winner, 2 out of losers every time.
You don't think they're gonna do? You don't think they're gonna do have it down to the 4 winners and then have your 2 losers to where they're waiting on the losers from the winners matches? I figured that was how they're gonna run it this year.
I'm not sure. I'd have to look at the math.
They might try that. They probably try it in an event and see how it runs.
Yeah.
Or have somebody try it and then test it. And
I wonder if East Coast Throwdown might do that. That's a great point, John.
Not even.
I think you're right.
Not even East Coast Throwdown.
Location,
you can look at
location tests, man.
No, you don't.
Yeah, it's a location test.
Guys, they don't have to do a location test. They can just use start.gg and run it that way. They don't need to do a location test. That's why. What did I tell you when I said start.gg gentrified the TO job? We have something that can literally run a full tournament simulation if we had it, if we needed to.
Oh, that's why we're more replaceable than the comment. You know what? I'm not gonna.
Don't set me off. Don't set me off right now. But like, let's be real, right? That's what it's there for. And also, what I've heard, the rumors around the street is, they might write code and everything like that. But I hear the Cannon brothers are really good with math. So
I don't doubt that.
Right. They wrote GGPO. What are you talking about?
Exactly, but you don't SRK, GGPO. Now working on Project L.
You just don't pull up and just know how to do that.
Right.
And there's 2 of them.
And there's
2 of them. That's your work is checked right there. Like, yeah, you're not that. Oh, there's 2 of you doing the same thing. Okay.
It's ice climbers in real life.
It's real life.
I am so mad. Oh my god, ice cannons, they're amazing.
Yo, the amazing ice cannon.
Bro, that's the reality though. That's the truth. So I think that let's get back on topic when it comes to the money and the games, right? You have a marketing opportunity, you have now money, you have people that are walking away. People are butthurt about top 6 and not top 8. I'm gonna leave this out there to the panel. Is it an issue now that you have 6 opportunities to win? Because here's the thing, right? If you here's my thing, and I'll stop after this. If you spread the money through top 8, the money's not as much, right? But some people do get some money back. But top 6, everybody at minimum, depending on where you flew in from, Evo's free for you. You're coming out a profit. It's what, $1,750 for the 2 6 placers or something like that. I think someone calculated the numbers. Bro, that's amazing. Like, what's the big deal? And everybody's also complaining about trophies and whatnot. I'm like, hey, listen, if Evo wants to change up their stuff, let that be a lesson to you. That's their house. You don't control that. That's their house. They make the rules. They set the rules. You abide by them by paying your money to go. I've already signed up. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to go. But the reality is,
you don't walk it.
You know what I mean?
You don't get to walk in the house and pick up the first player controller.
Right.
You got to play. You got to play with the Mad Catz joint that has like turbo and the messed up
bruh,
the messed up cord.
So I'll
looks like a Fisher Price controller.
Right. I'll say this, John, because I hate you for bringing this up. There are people in the FTC that have played on Mad Catz and never know that Mad Catz was a piece of shit controller company.
Oh, they used to be bad until Mark went there.
Shout out to Mark.
Bro, Mark made them respectable.
Shout out to Mark, man, right? There are people in the FTC that have never touched a bad Mad Catz thing. But anyway, with that being said, is top 8 to 6 a problem from the side of a player? What do you guys think in all reality?
No. I mean, yes and no if we want to get like down to the nitty gritty of like my brand, but when you with the discussion on the money side especially, and getting some more insight into that, I went and I pulled the numbers from last year, and let's just listen to this. Guilty Gear Strive had the most entrants, 2,158 players. That's not even 25. So there are, right then and there, you're like, okay, that 25K is a lot of money then. But then that's for all the games. Melty Blood type Lumina last year had 411 entrants. The only game with less entrants than Melty Blood was Skullgirls. That had 295 players. 25 grand pot for a 295 player bracket. That's not bad.
Listen.
That's not bad at all.
And one of the things that people don't understand, right? People talk about, oh, my weekend was long and blah, 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 blah. Josh, how much actual time are they spent playing in the tournament? Not necessarily fucking practice and all the tournaments all year round, right? In this particular tournament as a whole, let's put a microscope on it. Kawano won, I think, last year, right? He won Evo because I think he beat I Domination. You know what I mean?
Kawano won, yeah. Kawano won.
Right. Think about it. How many games did they play? 20 games, 8 games, 15 games.
Kawano had 11 wins, 1 loss.
So he played 12 games,
and that's set wise, I believe. Yeah. That's set.
Let's say it's 7 minutes. Let's give it 7, maybe 10 minutes. You played for 110 minutes, and how much money did you walk away with? That's 2 hours of Street Fighter, bro. That's one night of sparring with the homie, bro. At an event. How much money did you leave with?
Right.
You mean
there was a tweet where they had that all broken down too on Twitter recently?
But no,
how much?
But you see that these are the things now. This is where my accounting kicks in. There's certain things that when we budget money, we have certain things called drivers. One of the drivers for the players at this event is time. How much time did you actually spend playing? You could not have played more than 120 minutes. You played 120 minutes and went away with over $10,000.
You have David, I got you right here. Yeah. You have a 2-hour pool. And then if you make it out your 2-hour pool, you might have up to another 4 to 6 hours worth of pools. But to what you're saying, specifically when you are playing, you're maybe playing for at most a third of that time.
Right. That's what I'm saying. These dudes play 3 matches and they're out of the pool. The first round, the second round, semis, and then winners finals, and you're out. For the loser side, yeah, you play more matches if you go to losers, but Kawano didn't go to losers until what? Until he ran into Idom? Bro, he was winning the whole time.
Idom was his only L.
You understand?
So Kawano would have made $10,500.
You dig?
It's like, I mean, I say it facetiously, but it's like, don't lose. I mean,
don't lose. Let me tell you something. As a TO and as a player, as a TO more, we watch it and we see it. Because one of the things that's good about being a TO, the best shit about this job, is that I get to work and also be a fan at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I get to watch a game that I enjoy and people that are really good at it, or people that are really bad, but more good than bad. And I get to watch. I get to learn new tech. I get to politic with my fellow nerds, bro. People that share a passion with me, and then they're intersecting passions as well. Be it from shoes to food to whatever other realm whatever other facet of my life that there is, and people don't understand that. They don't consider that, right? That's the dope part about being a TO. Real shit. So, but as a player, I get the mental fatigue. I get the whatever. I get the, but for people that have been at this for years, when I went to Frosty, I didn't lose my voice. I didn't get sick because I had an opportunity to stop, rest, do whatever. Bro, I'm a G at this shit. I'm an OG. I know what to do to take care of myself, to eat properly, to don't eat as much fast food, drink more than you fucking, you know what I mean, eat, hydrate yourself, all this other shit. You know what I'm saying?
I showed Josh a combo breaker.
Bruh,
I was fine.
Everybody, when you learn the game about this shit, you know to eat. Like, for commentators, they need more honey then they need other things. Your throat is getting tore up. If you're a fucking room lead or a game lead, your throat will get torn up. Like, there's certain things about this, and I don't want to segue too far, but that's my point. To get back to the time shit, these dudes are winning tens of thousands of dollars. Bro, what's the hourly rate on that? That fool got paid $5,000 an hour. $5,000 an hour.
Real quick, I want to give a shout out to Junk Food Arcade. They announced today that they quote retweeted Say Jam Cristo, who had tweeted, "Imagine getting 7th at Evo, no payout, and then getting asked, would you like guac on that at the end of the Chipotle line? Better make that top 6." Junk Food Arcade's quote retweeted that, and they have a micro, a leverless controller. They said, if you place 7th in one of the main 8 games, reach out to us with proof, and we'll hook you up with a micro on us. Yes, really. And the little template, the art for the micro is I placed 7th in, and then your game's logo, and all I got was this snack box micro.
That is
That
fire.
is funny.
Dope.
That is fire.
That is
That's
dope.
fire.
That's dope.
Shout outs.
You know what I mean?
Shout outs to that. Like
I would go there to try to get 7.
You know what I mean? Like, bro, like
I take the dive.
but listen.
Yeah, I'm gonna add this to the thread. This is worth it.
You understand? You dig? Like, people need to understand, bro. Like I said, Evo's their own entity. They get to choose whatever they want to do. But and let's be real, right? At the end of the day, as it pertains to open tournaments, Evo is the head. There's no other tournament bigger than Evo. There's no other prestige bigger than Evo. Like, when you win Evo for the year. Bro, you go down in the annals of FGC history. You understand? So, like, you can, like, some people are like, nah, fuck that, blah, blah, blah. But, bro, where else are you going to go and find a level of competition for an open event like Evo? Nowhere. Nowhere. Not the level of international player that's coming through. Nothing. So, yeah, there's value to that, and they're understanding that. And I'm sorry. And then let's think about this too, right? In top 8, people go 0-2. So we just got rid of those dudes. And there are people going to go 0-2 again.
People die every day, B.
People die every day, B. You understand? You dig? Like, there are going to be players that go 0-2 in top 6. You understand? And those 2 players are going to make it so that you can watch top 4. Sorry. Or, top 2.
Promoted to spectator.
Understand, real fast, real quick. You got a promotion? Yep, to go sit down with everybody else. Yep. Come sit down over here with us, B. Seats nice and warm.
I got promoted to I got put on vacation time.
Right. You understand? So,
hey, like that was back in the arcade when you got sent to the changer.
Bro,
you gotta take that long.
You gotta take that lonely walk back.
Bro, what are you talking about? I only went to the arcade with $5. My mother said make it last. Bitch, I wasn't getting no more money. But nah, that's the real, right? So the top 8. So y'all thinking the eight don't matter that much. Those 2 people, it's not really affecting it. And even on the players' behalf, because here's the thing: the biggest thing is like, oh, they're hurt. And granted, right? For those of you that are leaders here and people that are TOs, people that are listening, think about Who Moved My Cheese and all the other things like that. These books that you need to read from management to make your job and your life a little bit easier in this space. Change is something that human beings don't deal with well. Think back to when you went to school and you were sitting down in a chair for like the first 2 weeks of school, and then one day you show up 2 minutes late to class and somebody else is in your chair. That change upsets you. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you got to be able to really understand that humans as a species don't often deal with change well. And that's just one of those things that people, when I see them complaining, I'm like, bro, shut up. Let Evo cook for a little bit, bro. This year is 6. Next year it could go back to 8. And instead of 200, it could be 250 or 300. Like, let them cook. Try to understand what they're doing. They're doing it bigger than any of us right now. Which tournament out there, open tournament that started at grassroots, is giving away $200,000 cash? I'll wait, because I remember they're the ones that gave away a car too. I'll wait.
On top of being under new management.
Right.
They're under new management on top of that.
Right. I'll wait. Talk shit now, bitch. Talk shit now. I'll wait. When you can outdo them, and let's add the other factor to it. When you can do it as long as they've been doing it, at the level that they've been doing it, I'll wait.
Mm-hmm.
I'll wait.
This used to be a battle by the bay.
Right. I'll wait. I'll wait. Shut up. All you motherfuckers, all you do there, bro, you guys are leeches. You just go there and take and leave. None of you motherfuckers even volunteer. You walk out of that fucking Evo and the place looks like shit. It looks like your goddamn rooms. All the trash and shit on the floor. None of you motherfuckers, like, bro, that's one of the things I didn't bring up about my Fossey thing, but like, I want to try a social experiment in the next tournament I do, bro. Like, I'm going to give away a stick, leverless probably. Bro, for the person that picks up the...
I'm going to get me one.
Right. For the person that picks up the most trash...
You can't get a joystick.
Josh will never get a joystick.
I can get a hitbox, but not a joystick.
Josh will never.
He'll never get a
joystick. It can't have a lever.
Joshua has been in the FGC for over 20 years, y'all. If you're listening, get Joshua a stick. Bless this man. Hit up Iceage, and let's make it possible. DM me if you want me to do it secretly. Like, let's get this man a stick. He's helped so many people's careers. He's done the 10v10s. He's done all this shit. He's been leads, and this man has never gotten a stick. And listen, I'm so bad. I'm not laughing at you.
It should be a tradition. He's like the Leo of TO.
Oh no, he's the Leo DiCaprio.
Oh shit!
Oh no!
Oh shit! You're never gonna get not a
no.
Grammy. What is the award that the actors get?
The Oscar or whatever.
You're never gonna get an Oscar nomination.
Damn.
He got nominated plenty of times. He just never got it.
Oh,
it's okay though. I got the model.
He finally got one eventually.
Yo, but he got Rihanna though.
I put that in the atmosphere.
He got Rihanna though.
But
He got
hey,
Rihanna though. He got Rihanna.
Yeah, I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say. Yeah, no, I did it. I did good. I'm on that magazine cover holding hand.
Anyway, let's move on because y'all don't got shit to say about the 8th thing. Let's move on to the other topics.
Yeah, we got about another 25 minutes here, so we got a good bit to talk about. Well, 35, and then we got a good bit to talk about here on the CPT stuff. So we've got the MK12 leak. We mentioned that earlier. Mm-hmm. Sounds like it might be more than one game from how things are kind of sounding there. So we'll see. We also had the
Stop there. Don't move past that. Think about it, right? First of all, of course, everybody in the FGC is an idiot, right? So this whole leak shit that be happening all the time. It so happened that the leak happens every year right before the game comes out, which is so weird. But anyway, how can you outdo what Capcom has done? Let's be real. Bandai Namco snatched the goal from fucking Capcom when they released Geese and DBZ updates and all that shit. They snatched the goal from them. Capcom hasn't been on top in a minute, bro. Let's be real.
That would explain. Explain one of the things that I was. That would explain one of the things I was saving for the end there when we started talking about the CPT finals was the very next thing I was going to mention after this was the Kazuya gameplay trailer from Tekken 8. Everyone was talking about the $2 million prize pool stuff announced at CPT finals, where they said that there was not going to be any new Street Fighter 6 info. So they had the $2 million announced. A few days later, Bamco drops the Kazuya gameplay trailer, and people are still talking about it.
To a Mishima main. Everyone's like,
bro. Everyone's like, oh, I can do heat. I can do my heat system into and do a hell sweep. By the way, that junk's probably low parryable or steppable, but whatever. We'll deal with that later. But then, did you notice how Capcom was like, "Oh, you thought it was your turn? No!" And then they dropped the gameplay trailer for Zangief, Lily, and Cammy.
Bro,
Like,
they are bad
they starting to fight dirty.
Bro, it's fucking what is it? It's battle rap, bro. It's bar for bar. Let's go. What are you talking about? Oh shit. You added an extra kick to his hell sweep? Fuck you then. Let me add this 2 mil real quick. You thought the 2 mil was enough? Nah, bro. Catch this. What do they call it? The bear, the bee, and the bird? Bro. The 3 Bs? Come on, B. Somebody over there is rapping their ass off right now at Capcom. Laughing.
It very much had that, Capcom was spitting. Bamco comes in to do a guest first, and then Capcom looks over at Bamco like, "Oh no, you're supposed to be a feature. You don't do that on my album." And then they came back and re-recorded something to crush them with, because again, they said they didn't have anything for the Pro Tour, but they had something as soon as that Kazuya gameplay trailer dropped.
It's Jay-Z and Eminem on Renegade right now, bro. Who the fuck is M right now? Because Eminem.
And they also leaked Honda. Don't forget that.
Yep.
Right.
Honda got spinning pile driven.
Yeah, that counter move with the fucking kick.
His neck all jacked up.
Bruh, all that shit. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Like, it's the marketing game. Like, stop looking at this shit as like there's a meta to it. You know what I mean? There's a meta to this shit. Pay attention to what's really going on and what they're doing. Because y'all keep on playing this game at the level of, oh, I'm so excited to touch the game. But, bro, pay attention to the business, too, behind it. All this stuff is really and truly meant to garner a lot more eyes and a lot more fucking, marketing, especially from us, right? Talking about it, even in this space. Although I don't know how many YouTube creators are going to do it, because you know what it is? That IP guard bullshit that they did was because maybe they plan to create a bunch of content. You know, they get paid money off YouTube too, right? When they make their YouTube pages. So think about that new revenue source that they got. NFTs bro, they were pushing that fucking Chun-Li model thing going on that guy created from how many years ago with her sitting down. Bro, they're selling that shit too. And you know what? I'm going to be real with you. I encourage you guys to buy the shit that you like, because more of that money goes into the culture, more people get paid, the shit is sustainable, it makes sense on a money-wise shit. But like I said, I don't agree with all their business practices, and I'll call them out for whenever I think they do. Like, they try to fuck with people's money on their YouTube pages and shit like that. But you got to support this shit so it can keep on opening. But Capcom's also what was it? Aren't they, their market cap is $1 billion? And for those of you that don't know what market cap is, it's their net worth. That means their assets minus their liabilities equals whatever it is. So whatever assets they own minus whatever they borrowed to get it is whatever they're truly worth. Like their net. Like if they were to shut down business right now, they're at $7 billion. And I know y'all don't know what billion is, so look up my tweet. I posted 2 shits up there. I think they said 1 billion or 1 million seconds is like, I don't know, what was it, like 11 days or some shit like that? I'll look it up and tell you. But 1 billion seconds is like 547 years or some crazy shit, or minutes, one of the two. I'll get my facts straight and I'll correct it. But like, think about what those numbers really mean. Think about it. So yeah, they can put $1 million to the pot, but it's a lot of money that's also in the company, and they're taking not a risk, but maybe they're trying to do right from what happened with Street Fighter V and the trauma, as Aziza mentioned, that they caused. And with that, I'll shut up.
I mean, but the truth of the matter is that when Street Fighter V came about, the company's holdings were at $150 million, and that wasn't enough to actually create a AAA title. So that's the reason why we had the whole selling of the IP to Sony. So that was analogous. Like after Monster Hunter, after like really big titles that came out, Capcom recovered. Now they're 7 billion, so they can actually make more AAA titles. So that's kind of that's that's pretty great, you know.
John, you got your hand up. What's up, baby?
Had a question from Raphael at Positively Raph. Why is the exclusion of the 7th and 8th placers of this year's EVO bothering so many people? Has no one stopped to think that maybe they're doing this to avoid what happened in final round when Street Fighter V dropped?
Oh my God. I am not going to talk on that first. Josh, you can talk on that. John, y'all can talk on that. But, using us again as a. Fucking God. Y'all got it.
Oh, yeah, the Cap Cops jamming his signals.
Yeah,
He says
Capcom
too much.
doesn't want him. He says too much. He must be canceled.
Oh, you guys can't hear me?
You can now.
Oh, yeah.
Now we can.
Oh, no. I was saying I wasn't going to say anything. Y'all got it. Because using
Oh,
us
because
as
you
a,
were you over here walking around and stuff.
yeah, using us as a cautionary tale again. Oh my God! Yet still people give us no respect. Bothers me. Y'all can take it. Y'all can start first with that because I think that is an excellent question. It really is. You guys go it because here's the thing, right? They're gonna probably be bigger than CEO for sure, right? No doubt about it. But CEO is probably gonna be the first major to run into the the numbers increase. Are you prepared for that? How do you prepare for that? In your estimation, how do you prepare for that, Josh?
To be honest, you put limitations and just you go aggressive with those numbers to sponsors to try and get as much as you can so that you have a war chest to actually be able to do what you need to do. I mean, there's a lot of other things that there's a lot of other things that I don't think CEO is going to have to worry about. They're not going to worry about a brand new bracket generator that is literally in the alpha stages to the point of where they have on-site representatives there for you. Which I mean, they have on-site representatives there for Start GG anyways. But I'll be honest with you. If you had asked me this question 5 years ago, I'd have told you that I hope he suffers and I hope he goes through hell with it. But to be honest, I thinking about that now, and also maturing and growing from it. I don't want that, and I don't want that to ever happen again to anyone because as much as we suffered, David, remember what you had mentioned a couple weeks ago to me that was somebody's first tournament. And I don't want to put the players through anything like that ever again.
No.
And I don't. And as much history as there might be with Jabali, I got to give credit where credit's due. I genuinely believe that he's going to do what he thinks is best, and I think there's going to be success with it. I don't foresee them having the issues that final round did. There's things in place that are different from what final round went through, and I think that they're going to be fine. I also don't think Capcom will allow it to blow up CEO either.
No, but let's talk about the question that he asked, right? Did Evo do that to possibly deal with the influx of numbers? Do you think that's what they did?
Potentially. I mean, I know that this Evo has been planned for since last year. Last year's Evo was very much like, hey, we're back from the pandemic. People are very hesitant though about getting involved with this stuff. Then next year we expect things to be bigger, and not. I mean, goodness gracious, look at how much bigger they are. I mean, guys, look at what we're looking at. Now, if this was going to be bigger, imagine what they were planning for the year after. Because if we just look at the top 8 lineup alone, all right, Guilty Gear Strive, King of Fighters, here to stay. Street Fighter 6, all right, it's going to be there to stay. Tekken 7 will be Tekken 8. Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate will be Mortal Kombat 12. So that leaves Dragon Ball Fighters, Melty Blood, and Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. We got Grand Blue versus Rising coming out. Might be that. Project L, maybe? What could be that 8th game? That might be a community game, or maybe even a Smash. So this has a lot. Like I can't think of a time that I've been more excited, to be honest, because this is what we've talked about, what we kind of dreamt about 20, 25 years ago when we're sitting there doing things in the arcade. Like, imagine we could play games for money. Now we have streamers. Imagine if you could win like life-changing money from a Street Fighter tournament or a Tekken tournament or a Guilty Gear tournament. That's about to happen.
Right, right. From one event, not the series of events and locals and matcharinos and paydias and all this stuff that's still there, that's still here. There's so many avenues, and your Twitch stream, and your YouTube, and your TikTok. All these avenues and all these brand deals that are out there. There's all this stuff now that you guys have to make money from. But to answer your question,
My TikTok edits are pretty insane. They're right. I like
here,
them.
yeah, shameless self plug. Go back on mute, please. So, yeah, and that Testament one was pretty dope. Anyway,
The Potemkin.
oh, Pataka, that Testament, Pataka. You're right. So, yeah, the reality of it is, yeah, that could be a part of it too, right? Let's be real. All TOs watch other TOs and we learn from each other. You know what I mean? Via osmosis. Because one of the things that players don't understand is, as a TO watching another TO, watching them fail hurts. Watching them fail or watching them suffer through something that didn't go well, that could have been avoided. Like, that's why you'll never. How many times have you seen me on Twitter or Facebook or anything? Any of you that know me and follow me that goes, man, that guy did a terrible job. Nah, bro, because I've been there. I know what it's like to try to manage and herd cats, bro. I understand. I've been there. It's difficult. It's difficult to run one of these events. So if that's a lesson learned from watching Final Round and what happened, then yeah, let them do it. Let them do it and let them be great, because people are trying to. You mean, like, think about this too, right? What are the options to play Street Fighter 6 on? It's PS5 and computers, right? Where the fuck is Evo getting the money for all them PS5s from and giving y'all $200,000? Because that's the thing that people aren't talking about. There's equipment involved in that. Upgrades, bro. Y'all, even if it's not them, even if they're renting it, someone has to buy those systems, either through a deal or they're paying for it up front. And PS5s, when last I checked, was still hard to get. So I don't know. I think that's the best answer I can give you for right now. If that's what they're doing, then God bless them.
John, I know you had your hand up for a second.
It's something I can say for later.
All right, let's move on from the question. Yeah.
So I guess the last thing before we, I guess for the last 15 minutes, we can open up the call lines, if you will. But before we go into that, I wanted to mention and give props to MenaRD, not just for winning Capcom Pro Tour, but for doing something incredibly difficult. I got to reshare a thread that I had seen posted earlier that Mena had reshared as well, said he was starting to get emotional going through it. The difficulty of first off, the difficulty of winning the tour alone is huge. You got to qualify. Then you got to make it through the group stage, and then you got to make it to the bracket, and you got to win the bracket. It's hard. Mena did it twice, and we saw that almost happen in Tekken with Kudans. He got second the year after getting first. I think he lost to Rangchu the following year. That's hard. And I don't think that's being appreciated enough, because with that level of accomplishment, in my opinion, Mena deserves to be he deserves to be on the plaque and in the conversation when we talk about greatest Street Fighter players that have ever played.
Do you think that for real? For one
David,
game, for one iteration,
for sure.
of a game.
David,
Talk to me.
Again, with the difficulty of what it was to accomplish what he did, to win 2 tours. That's hard.
Right.
That's incredibly difficult.
We never had it.
Think about the format. Just think about the format. Let's think about how hard it is alone just to win a major. That's hard. You're in an open bracket. You got to win through your pools. But usually there's enough of a skill gap to where you kind of cruise through your pools for the most part. There might be a person or two in there. But then you get to the next pool where you got to get now consolidated down to top 48, top 32, however they do that. And then you've got the other pool where you now consolidate even further to the top 8. Then you have the top 8 to go through. Mena had to not only do this, in order to qualify for the Pro Tour, he then had to go get entered into a group stage, play a round robin, a completely different format, go into the bracket, then play in the bracket, and win the bracket. And he's done that
2 out of 3, and then 3 out of 5.
And the first time he did it, yeah, exactly. And the first time he did it with Fong, right?
No, he's not a Fong player.
Sorry, my bad. Birdie, that's right. He did it with Birdie. Was Birdie considered like a top tier character at the time?
Hell
I think
no. Bro, they nerfed the shit out of Birdie. Bro, they nerfed the shit out of Birdie after he won the first one.
Right? Right?
Yo.
So what's one of the things we heard when he won the first time? Oh, don't nobody know that matchup.
Get the fuck out of here.
We hear it every time.
Like we hear it all the time that nobody knew the matchup for Birdie, or the Birdie matchup was a character that can beat the other characters. Yeah. Literally.
That was what was said.
You know what? Shut up. Try playing Taquito when he was playing Claw in Super Turbo. Shut the fuck up. Y'all do not know what real mix-up is. Y'all don't know what real... Please, listen to me. The game in itself changed so much that they try to make it more fair and more balanced every iteration of the game, right? Street Fighter had been around for 30 years, and every year they make it a little bit more palatable for the new player to survive. Bro, do you know what it's like trying to block Vega when you don't know what side he's going to hit you on? When he hits you with a meaty wall dive on your wake up, you're either getting grabbed or hit that resets the situation? Come on,
David,
man. Y'all
let me ask you this. If they ever did a Super Turbo league, if you will, or a Super Turbo tour, and it was the same format, and
people would watch it and be like, "This is the most bullshit game."
Aside from that, but let's talk about the conversation we're having. Like, let's say over the course of what was the time between Mena's wins? Was it like 3, 4, 5 years, something like that?
Yeah.
I mean, it was before the pandemic, so there's 2, 3 years right there.
Right.
So
no, that's 3 years. 19.
So yeah, 3.
That's 19, 21, 22. I think this is considered like, year 22, right? Although it's 23.
So we'll just say 3 to 5. We'll just say 3 to 5.
Yeah.
So 3 to 5 years, and you did this for a Super Turbo, and somebody won that bitch twice. And we won't even do 3 to 5 years. We won't even do 3 to 5 years. Let's do it one better, because remember, 2 years that didn't exist. So we'll just say 2 to 3, and someone won 2 out of the 3. I don't think there would be any question of who the best Super Turbo player is, right?
Right. There wouldn't have been.
There's no conversation to be had. MenaRD is the best Street Fighter V player in the world, and Dominican Republic is the best location for Street Fighter V in the world.
That hurts me so much.
Eat it.
You said it on purpose. Shut up. Oh God. As a fellow West Indian, that shit, or someone from the Caribbean, that burns my butt. That shit is terrible to have to hear. Oh, if I play competitively still, I'd be gunning for him right now. I would be gunning for him. That dude is good, bro. That dude is good. I'm not taking that from him at all. He is good. And you know what? He's nice to talk to, bro. He's personable. He's easy to approach. You talk shit to him, and he laughs and he responds, bro. He's a good person to interact with. So like, bruh, you want to beat him that much more. At least I do. My approach to it. But like, bruh, he did an amazing job. I can't front. You are right. You brought up some solid points, and I don't have no argument for you. You know what I mean? I just think that our their ability to adapt versus ours was a little bit, the definition of it was different. Words change, meanings change, and like the shit is different. It really is. Because like, bruh, people who remember like you remember the broken game Samurai Showdown 2? Bro, Ukyo could jump cancel out of his special moves, bro. And then he could go into that whatever that air fireball move he had that was also a
Yeah,
cut.
the slice.
Yeah, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, there are mad games out there. There are mad games, right? Bro, like, there are mad games out there that y'all were like, y'all would literally be like, oh no, I'm not competing in this. But we had to do it. We had
David,
to
did you
adapt.
see the this was a couple months ago. This is before the end of 2022. Someone had tweeted it might, it might have been after the new year, but someone tweeted a picture from, I think it was the supercombo.gg wiki, or wherever had a wiki with Marvel 2 frame data and screenshots on it. And it was Magneto's crouching light kick. And it had that it was one frame, and someone who, who's relatively younger, who reshared that and was just like, bro, what?
Dogs. All right.
Oh, and then
Everyone
that
that's
same thread, they
listening.
had that same thread, by the way, they
Yeah.
started going through at some of the older games, looking at the hit boxes on moves, and so people started like quote retweeting something, and they're just like, what in the fuck is this war crime?
Yo, they put the Saget one out there for the fucking Crouching Fears, and people were like,
Oh,
what the fuck is this?
CBS?
Yeah.
Yeah, CBS too.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
So let's be real for a
The,
second, right?
the freaking hand cannon? Yeah.
Bro, the hand cannon, for real. That sometime hit roll cancel moves. Nigga, what the fuck? It hit a like what? Like that shit, depending on when you started your roll cancel, would stay out there so long for active frames that it would beat your roll cancel move, whatever it was, if your spacing wasn't right. Are you kidding me? Like, calm down, bro. Y'all fools are living in the glory days. Like, I think right now we're doing a lot. We're eating a lot as a culture as it pertains to games. But like, think about this, bro. Let's give Yipes his flowers real quick. Yipes picked a character and an assist that if one of those one frame crouches short, you had to block Yipes 8 different ways. Top left and right, mid left and right, low left and right, and sometimes he'd come straight from above you. You understand what I'm saying? And an assist could pop up out of anywhere. So if you're walking forward, Psylocke would just come out and pop you up into the air, and he would just rom you to death, right? And probably guard break your next character. Like, are we really? Really? Like, that's, people don't understand like the level of play that is out here now versus what was there before is so much more, for the lack of a better word, fair. You understand what you dig? Like,
The wild part is that Yipes can still do that now. Like, I remember I watched a stream of him just like messing around with Marvel, and I'm just like, what? Number one, why? Why are you still this good? And why are you still coming up with stuff that like I would definitely get hit by? Because I'm not blocking in that whatever direction you hit the dummy in, I got
bro,
hit because I
every
couldn't block
time
in
I
that
watch that
direction.
fool, I'm like, bro, how do people? You can't block Yikes. You have to predict him. You have to know the player. That's why a lot
You
of
have to learn
times,
how to read concrete. Your books have to be made out of concrete. That's how hard
bro,
your read has to be. It has to be made out of concrete.
bro,
Slabs,
shit's
you have to read the
crazy.
slabs. The Ten Commandments of the FGC is what you have to read.
Bro, you have to come down the mountainside with that shit, carrying it in your arms, reading it on your way down to know the 10 Commandments. Because, bruh, that shit is crazy right now. And that's the thing, right? I want y'all to think about this, right? Mena didn't play any like super heavy mix-up characters. Mena played a footsie based character with a command grab. that wasn't that fast. Birdie wasn't a fast character. You know what I mean? And there are ways to fight those type of characters by, mauling them or whatever. Bro, let's keep in mind, Taquito hadn't beat. Taquito was like a quarter, like 25% of life from being Capcom Cup champion, bro. And he got one opening and he brought it back. Decision making, spacing, baiting footsies. Bro, come on, man. You can't. I hear you, bro. I really do. But yeah, Josh, I know we're running short of time, so open it up a little bit for anybody that wants
definitely.
to
I
ask
was gonna.
questions.
John's gonna take over on the caller, so while he gets them lined up, I'll fill in the time to just also mention.
Well, before you
How
do that,
exciting-
there was the question that I was going to bring up earlier. Listener, Just a Lurker, said not related to the specific combo in final round, but that was the one and only fighting game major I ever went to. Didn't go back to any due to how it was run, unfortunately. Maybe it is now that I think about it.
Damn. What was the question though? Or was it just a statement to
No,
stab us
I
in
guess
the
that was
heart?
I saw
Yeah.
it too, David. Trust me, when I read it the first time, it hurt, and then I read it again, and I was like, because I had just gotten done talking about how, that was someone's first.
Yeah,
that might have been someone's first tournament,
That's what
and then I
was
saw
gonna
that.
mention
Then I
it
was just like,
first,
ugh.
and that's why I decided to wait.
Oh my God. Yeah, I know.
Think about
y'all
the
don't
think about the fond memories we have of final round and all the good times, and then that one bad year where decisions made outside of above our pay grade, and a bunch of other things that happened. It just
That one
Bro.
black
it
mark.
was that was the broken limb that got infected.
Yep. That's it. I gotta hold that L for the rest of my life.
But while we get the callers lined up, what about the gameplay trailer that they dropped for Zangief, Lily, and Cammy?
Bro.
I'm still a Marissa main, but I'm gonna still play Cammy. I played Cammy since she dropped, but yeah.
First of all, fuck the B, right? Because that bitch is too fast. And listen, has there been a game like people like, oh, she's not good in Marvel 2? I've seen people beat people's ass with Cammy in Marvel 2. So stop.
She was upper mid.
Yeah, bro.
Look how much damage she did off of just launch, roundhouse, cannon drill, killer bee assault. And then if they didn't tech roll, LOL.
Right. Like, good luck, bro. That character was stupid. Like, y'all are complaining. Yo, when was Cammy not good? The blonde bombshell. I'll wait.
Alpha 3.
Was she even in that game?
She was like the console character. Remember, she was like one of those. Was it a console character that she got dropped?
Whatever. One of the PlayStation characters.
Bro,
I think you're right. I think it was the PlayStation ones.
I was lucky enough to only play that game in arcade when it first came out. So I'll be happy to know that I don't have a bad memory of Cammy because of that. How about that? Because good Lord, yeah, it's a problem. She she did it. No, it's dope. It's dope. I think the gameplay trailer is dope. I thought I didn't see the name. I didn't catch the name of the new quote unquote Birdie character. Lily.
That's the new T-Hawk. Yeah, she's mini T-Hawk.
Bro,
she's even got the T-Hawk sweep, and like her clubs is like the T-Hawk chop. It's adorable.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's pretty dope. Zangief, to go back to him, Zangief looks like he's gonna be a problem again. Because they don't have a V trigger system. Remember, so that means all the counters and all that's fully available at round go.
Did you see him combo jumping headbutt into EX air throw?
Yes, I did. People are gonna, bro. Oh, let me tell you something. When
jump in on Geef and he just AAs you with that.
Yo, let me tell you something. Yo, even Snake Eyes is like, I'm back, baby. I'm like, y'all are gonna be listen. And then, right? They put $1 million behind it. They put $1 million behind it to the winner. God damn. Who's what? Before we even get off that real quick, because it doesn't look like any listeners are trying to speak. If you guys have any questions, put your hands up and let us know, and or request to speak, and we'll put you in a queue.
We'll give you a minute
Yeah.
to get it off your chest.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So Alfie just put his hand up. So think about this shit, right? Bruh, how much more money are they pushing into the culture? Now, I don't mind this, right? If they're doing this and, they're protecting their IP, but they're putting out a good size of money into the culture and they want to be the one to control it or the TO size and all that stuff, great. You understand what I'm saying? But the TO has to be paid too because it's a lot of pressure to deal with your tournament at the level because basically we become franchisees, right, Earth? Right? A franchisor. They're the franchisee, we're the franchisor. All I'm saying is make sure the TOs get paid too because here's the thing, right? Because I was thinking about this with Marvel. Marvel's coming back. The top 6 winners are going to get, a total of 25,000. How much money are all those people getting that kept Marvel alive? Kevin Ha, Tong Never Sleeps, Kinder Party, Angelic, all those people. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not the players. Y'all don't do it alone. You do it with the TOs. You don't do the organizing. You don't do the work. You don't do the marketing. You just show up and display your skill, which is, noteworthy. But the TOs have skills too that are not being properly paid for. And I've always found that to be a little bit more, problematic as a culture. I think that one gentleman that posted up that left, the lurking dude, I said that was his one final round that he left and never came back to. He posted a question like, bruh, nobody talks about the business aspect ever. We're doing pop-up arcades for 3 days and running events at those pop-up arcades. Arcades is not a sustainable business model. Everybody knows this. It's difficult. So it's just one of those things that I never understood why people were never down with paying more and making sure that the TO can keep on doing this. And all they keep on doing is investing their assets, whether it be their time, their resources, their relationship equity, whatever the case may be. They invest so much to give you a platform to play on and display your skill. And yeah, your skill is a large part of it. But if we damn near should be considered like team owners, you know what I mean? But we're not getting paid like team owners, I promise you, because we don't have the marketing bandwidth to get those type of brand deals to market the shit. So yeah, Chipotle come in and help pay that 200,000. God bless him. Y'all got to deal with that shit, and that's just it. But nah, that's all I got for right now. But you Josh stepped away to go get some. Oh, there he is.
Nope, I'm right here. I see. Oh, I'm gonna add Alfie and Apprentice, and I'm sorry, Alfie and Tempest here. I'm gonna try to at least. I've accepted their speaker request. Looks like Alfie got his.
Alfie was first.
Very cool. Yep. Alfie then Tempest.
Okay. Said you got a minute. Get off your chest and do your thing.
All right. So first thing, you were just talking about Mena. That was like 2017 Capcom Cup when they had it at PSX. Shit was dope. I was right there next to kind of a couple rows next to Kaba, and I remember we were eating this big ass pizza while he was still screaming, and that was when Akuma was super fucking broken. I was season 2 Akuma, Birdie, and on top of that, this was the time that that guy's name Trashbox was the number one CFN Birdie in Japan or something like that, or in all the world. That was his ranking. He was number one. So the matchup, Tokido knew the matchup. It's just Tokido kind of fucked up real bit, and David was kind of touching bases on that one. The other thing is I remember I think I think yesterday was David that you had this conversation with somebody about Rob's post about something about North America and DR. I don't know how that conversation went, but I will say is that within the past time that Mena was training, he's been in North America. He lives in Boston right now.
I know he lives in Boston, but
Yeah.
ask anybody that's from DR, where he's from and what and where he reps.
Oh,
Ask him.
he reps DR, but the reality is that he trained in NA. So, that's kind of like one of those things, whether or not we're gonna debate about whether or not it's DR that actually helped him get back to the top, because he was close all those times he was in DR. He was close with the online CPT tournaments, but when he came here, that's when he came back on top.
It's going to
So
be
that's
interesting to see if the other North American players step up now that he is here. Iron sharpens iron. Alfie, appreciate you so much, Bubba. Thank you for tuning in. We got to keep it moving here.
Yep.
Tempest, we got you up next.
So one of the biggest things that I'm glad you guys have brought up was the TO situation as far as like what they get. I still feel like companies should work with TOs in the aspect of like there are certain TOs out there that are very efficient at doing things. They keep things alive and not they don't actually get enough recognition for what they do. And it's like I feel like just like they bring on players, there are people who do a lot for the community, and they should also bring on the company should think about bringing on TOs because TOs also know how to market and they have teams and they know how to delegate. And I feel like that's something that's a very important skill that not a lot of people do properly, and it can be taught. But some people out here trying to be Superman. They want to play or Batman, I should say. I think Batman is more the better role. They trying to play everything. They want to be jury, judge, executioner, freaking inmate, everything under the sun. And it's like I feel like instead of just focusing on players, they need to start helping others because some TOs they can do things at home, but they can also do things at majors and other places, and maybe they just don't have the funds to do it. And I feel like some TOs need the help to do that, and it would do so much better for the community.
It is interesting how, as a society, we've moved away from educators and towards entertainers, but maybe at the same time, hasn't that always been the case though? And they've theaters, the amphitheaters were packed for the productions of drama, and before that, all they had were the old men screaming at clouds. So that was fun to listen to. But sometimes they said some things to those clouds that were important to remember. I think we have anybody else. I think that might be it. John, you see anybody in the queue?
No, I don't. I think that's it. I think we're good for the evening.
Look at that.
Yeah,
We
let
just
me.
went 5 minutes over tonight. That's it. Oh well, shit. Now I'm about to go
Oh,
15 over. We'll see. What you about
shut
to do to us, David?
up. Shut up.
Oh
Shut
boy.
up. No, I wanted to speak on something what Temper said. You know what I mean? Like, let's be real. I think that the TOs are the ones that push the culture forward. That is my personal belief, and that is the hill I'm ready to die on. Right? The new job in the FGC that's bringing a lot of attention to us is the content creators. However you do it, right? TikTok, YouTube, Twitter videos, whatever the case may be, right?
My TikTok
But
is dope.
oh my god,
Working on mine too.
and,
And my
you know,
Twitch.
right? You know what I mean? But like the reality is, and look at what we're doing, right? So like the reality of the situation is that uh, I think that with more capital and with more funding, yes, the culture can be even pushed further. There's so much more that we could do. Because if I didn't have to work a 60-hour work week and I had enough capital to do this shit full time, oh my God. Oh my God. The amount of events that I would be pushing out, the amount of tours that I could create for the games. One being CVS2, a game that I love. You know what I mean? Battle of the Strongest to me was one of the best tournaments to watch with Yipes putting all those people together and doing that shit. It's just, and yeah, a lot of it is nostalgia. But what if we do a Battle of the Strongest for all those games? Street Fighter Five, DNF Duel, and all this other stuff that's out there, right? Like we're not thinking big enough, as it were, right now. So yeah, I think that what he says has a lot of merit, and if they work directly with the TOs more, we would, and the good ones, the efficient ones, the ones that do care, the ones that are, support. Like, bro, if Tong got the right amount of capital with the way he doesn't sleep, Jesus, Jesus, shit, the amount of fucking games that we would have to play, the amount of events that we could go to and make it like a family fucking outing again. The shit would be crazy. But that's all I gotta say on this. So I agree with you very much so a lot, Tempest.
I
Hello.
think. Oh, Ziza.
Hi. I mean, everybody talks about like the TO push the culture and everything like that, but there's the other thing is like, um, and there's content creators and everything like that. But a lot of I'm gonna tell you the truth. A lot of these, um, if we all symbiotically work together, as like the production companies of music companies actually do, you would definitely elevate everything faster and faster, and it actually would work better in your favor. Like, I'm gonna tell you the truth. The reason why the Big Five is because they talk about each other. Like you literally, like they literally, you never tell. They always tell you go to CO, go to Evo, go to Combo Breaker, in their commercials for themselves, and they're always elevating. They have multiple accounts that talk about each other. So like one of the things that we like, we push our culture, we push this, we push that, but we're so silent to actually communicate that amongst each other that it literally comes to the detriment of each other. And I've always been that person that's like, yo, we have to push ourselves like the music industry. And to the point where like
But
everybody
Aziza,
else
I
is
don't
looking
want
at
to
it.
sound like I'm a groupie though. I don't want to sound like I'm a groupie.
Oh, or groupie, or you're edge lord. I'm too much of an edge lord
Oh,
to
I'm
do this.
fat.
Like it's like, what do you want in life? Like like truly, what do you want? Do you want to have, like, you're complaining about the Evo parts and you won't get top 8, but if you really look at the numbers that they have, like the person that gets 6th place now has viable income to actually go to Evo, because they literally are winning back their trip, they're winning back their airline, they're winning back their room and their food expenses for that whole trip. $1,750 is a Vegas trip if they had to go there alone. You know, like just think about it. Like the reason why it's like that is because the initial pots are sufficient to get these people back and forth. You know, like we don't have pots that are sufficient enough to actually get a sponsor to actually do anything, because the sponsor lose money, or they're taking too much off the top, and that player is not living off of any of the expenses that they do. So why is it viable to actually be a player? So that's like one of the things that, I kind of got distracted because I was I was pulled in that direction. But like we have to kind of be honest with um everything going on in our economy, you know, and how it has to grow and how it has to be, and like that, like the $20,000 per game, literally, if it's split up when in the for top eight still, like the seventh place, still not gonna get enough to actually like do anything. Man, I had a player that made top 8 for Soul Calibur. They got $75 from Evo. let's make the pots more viable so that people can actually like walk away and enjoy being at Evo. I'm going on mute. Sorry.
Now you're perfectly fine. And that's listen, they damned if you do, damned if you don't. And I don't think that's one of those things where people are mature enough to understand. And a lot of these new voices that are complaining aren't of the culture. They're not from when we're from, the era that we're from, where we've seen this grow from $5 winnings to 250,000 at one event, or now 200,000 being spread between 8 games. Like it is what it is, man. And let these people live. You understand? You dig? Like this shit is worth it. It really is. And I think that we need to get better at this. So with that, we're gonna close it tonight out. Regular let Josh do it, but I'm gonna sneak this from him because I kind of pushed it over a little bit. But you know what I mean. Thank you for listening. Some of y'all been here from the beginning till now. Appreciate y'all. We got a lot coming down the pipeline. Look out for SBI. That Discord is gonna be the best thing that you guys have ever seen in the FTCs for the TOs and people that are coming up as it
That
pertains
six
to
button initiative.
the 6 button initiative, right? You know what I mean? There's only one ran by us, and that's the shit that's going to be pretty sick moving forward. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to do something great that has never been done before, which is openly share information with TOs and people that are really considering making this, because I have a group of people around me as a proven concept that have gotten jobs because they just were a member of the FGC and they started to volunteer at first, and now they have a CV, a healthy one at that, that can get them thousands of dollars of a job, 6-figure jobs and shit like that. So let's keep on pushing this shit forward, helping one another, speaking about one another to make sure that people understand our true value and our true worth. I appreciate y'all. This is TO Talks, Season 4, Episode 3. I'll see y'all in about 2 weeks. Take care.